Option number one is under the urban home loan facility. It takes up the whole structure of the financing for home loan. The tenure is up to retirement. The security is the property that you own. The security needs to have the property in place, needs to have insurance. Okay. It should have insurance covered for hail and everything that insurance currently provides. And then option number two, we have under the solar rural facility. Under the rural, it is covered by your pension. The pension, you take up to 60% of your pension. So that is the security for that type of loan. The tenure is up to 10 years. The same as with the urban home loan, you need to have an insurance cover for that. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, yeah. And then the third one is under APF. Under APF is up to 72 months, the tenor. The security there is the actual solar PV equipment. That means that the property, the solar equipment remains property of Nedbank until you're finished with the installments, with paying up the loan. And of course, the tenure is 72 months, like I said, and it needs to be also covered for insurance purposes. Yes.
All right. So, a lot of people still live in rented properties. Is it applicable to people that live under those properties?
It is applicable, provided the property owner signs you a waiver document in order for them to consent in the installation of the solar PVs.
So you do advise it as Nedbank. For instance, when I decide to move, I've been renting for perhaps 6 months and I want to move again. Do you advise it as the Nedbank Eswatini to install the solar geyser at a rented property?
It would depend on the need that you currently have. If you see the need and you see it fit to have the equipment there, you should speak to your landlord, of course, to make sure that they're also in agreement, because remember, the equipment will belong to you after the 6 months you've left the property. Okay. So you should be in agreement with the landlord. But ideally, it's perfect for home use where the property belongs to you, or for businesses where you know that the benefit is long term.
Okay, so what does Nedbank actually cover? Is it only the solar geyser, or it's the whole equipment, solar equipment? Electricity has become expensive. What does Nedbank actually cover?
Okay, it depends on your need. What you do is you go to the approved vendors, where they give you a quote and analysis and a needs analysis. So you make sure that you advise them, you have a house this big, this is what you need. Maybe you'd want the geyser, you'd want lights, you'd want plugs. So they provide an extensive equipment for all your needs. Okay. So we cover everything, anything that you want to buy that is related to solar.
So then what are the requirements? What documents should I bring to Nedbank?
Okay, first and foremost, every product we use the affordability test. So in order for us to do the affordability test, you need to provide us with your pay slip, where we'll count for you if you afford and how much you afford. Then from there, the quotation from the provider, your ID, and the rest of the documents would be the property documents if you're living in a rural urban home loan, rural or urban home loan.
Okay, so I suppose this is an individual, an entrepreneur who wants to apply for the service. Do you cover that person? Because I think you mentioned pay slips, one of the documents required for the service. How does that go about?
Okay, for businesses, we follow the business loan processes, where the business owner will come to the bank, provide the necessary documents. Can be the income statements for the business, the financial statements for the business. Okay. It can be the what's this other thing, the whole licenses that a business has, in order for us to calculate. I fumbled there.
Okay. So is it insured? I'm sure it's covered with
Definitely,
insurance.
everything is insured. It needs to be insured so that if anything happens, there's theft, there's a hailstorm, you are covered on that. We would love that you make sure you contact your insurance provider, find a quote, and get the property insured before you actually utilize it.
So speaking of hailstorm and theft, so if it so happens, so Nedbank does cover that expense that you reinstall the solar panels?
Yes, definitely. The provider, the approved vendor, will reinstall the property.
Okay, so what you hold as collateral, you know?
It depends on which one you take up. So if it's the APF, the solar PVs themselves are surety. If it's the urban home loan, the property in place, the insurance, you need to take up insurance for that. So it is insured on all the different products.
Okay, so can I put forward more than one application? For instance, I have 2 homes that I want, you know, the panels to be installed.
Okay.
Is that possible for an entrepreneur, for someone who's pensionable?
Yes, definitely. Okay. Depending on, everything is dependent on affordability. So if your affordability is in place, as long as you afford, then you're good to go.
So what's the minimum amount that one can pay, you know, on a monthly basis to cover up for this cover?
Okay, for this, everything is dependent on what you are taking, but the minimum equipment that you can actually have is the minimum is 10,000.
Okay.
So the repayment will be calculated on what you have taken up.
Okay. So take us through the steps, you know, to being solidified under Nedbank Eswatini.
Okay.
Is it quick and easy?
It's very easy. Okay. The first thing you need to do is get in touch with an approved vendor. Once you get an approved vendor, they will do a needs analysis where they will check your house or whatever property that you want to put the solar in. After that, they'll provide you with quotations, and then you can come to any Nedbank branch to apply for solar financing.
Okay, so how long does it take, you know, anything that involves money? It's a process with documents and everything, with all these requirements. How long does it take?
Okay, our turnaround times are 3 business working days. So in 3 days, you'll be good to go.
Okay. So how do you say that this is an approved vendor? Where do I confirm?
Where do you confirm? Okay, you can use any other vendor. What we'll need to do is to check if the things that they're providing for you for are alleged. It's new equipment only. We don't do second hands. You can also contact Nedbank for them to advise you on which of the suppliers are approved.
Okay, I suppose it's quick and easy.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So the demand, you know, how many people actually want this?
It's a lot. It's a lot. With the campaign that it has been rolling for about 2 to 3 weeks now, so customers are coming through. So they need the solution. They desperately need the solution. So I advise everyone to take it up.
All right. So a startup is contacting your Nedbank.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So take us through your contact details. Where can people contact you in case of, you know, they want to ask more questions?
Okay. They can call the help desk. The help desk line is 3278 1999. They can email helpdesk@nedbank.co.za or contact their designated banker. We all know that when you're banking with Nedbank, you have your designated RM. So contact your RM so that they can hook you up with solar financing.
All right. Thank you so much, Mpumelelo Motsamai, branch manager at Nedbank Eswatini Manzini branch. She was taking us through the Nedbank solar financing service provided by Nedbank Eswatini. Do contact them for more details. Let's go on for ad break. Sabuya Konamach.
Digital helps you make cross-border payments. Human gives you global specialists.